Okay.
Welcome, everybody, to Dreams Unzipped, where we uncover the beauty of your dreams to reveal the truth of who you are. This is Kelly Sullivan Walden, and I am your host. And today I'm so thrilled that I get the privilege and joy of interviewing Becky Lemere. So, Becky came to Dream Life Coach training a few years ago, and she discovered Dream Life Coach training through the Dream Oracle cards. But she, over the last couple of years, maybe 2 or 3 years, has just proven herself to be quite a genius in the realm of dreams. And I've been so thrilled to have the process and the privilege of getting to walk with her as she's discovered herself as a dream life coach. So before we get to talk to Becky, I just want to say a few things about her. She's been doing oracle readings since 2004. And what drew her to coaching was a desire to help other people discover their own answers. What a concept. Not to just cram your answers about what you think somebody should do down their throat, but to help to create an environment where they can find their own answers. So she is cut from the same cloth as me, and I really feel such a kindred spirit with her. Anyway, she loves Dream Life Coach training because it's not just about nighttime dreams, but also about accessing that wisdom so you can leverage that toward your daytime desires, your waking dream, so to speak. And she has shared with me that the training has helped to make her own dreams come true, and she's looking forward to coaching other people. She's a new coach, but she is eager and she's ready and she's passionate. She is also a certified career card reader through Margot Mateus, and she's certified Oracle card guide through Colette Baron Reed. And she also does tarot and chakra readings. She lives in Michigan. What part of Michigan, Becky? Near Detroit? Anywhere near Detroit?
I live near Flint. I live in Clio.
Okay. My sister's out there. I wonder if you're anywhere near her. But we'll talk about that later. And she's also a part-time EMT. So emergency medical technician.
Yes.
So she does that. And she works at a metaphysical store, but her dream is to do readings and coaching full time. And I'm so excited to be talking with Becky Lemere. So welcome to Dreams Unzipped, Becky Lemere.
Thank you, Kelly. So nice to be here.
So nice. So an EMT, those are like two completely different worlds. I mean, out there where people like are bleeding and their life is on the line, then you help them, you save lives, and then you work on the spiritual side of things when you're doing your reading. So that's quite an interesting juxtaposition. How do you do that?
It was through working as an EMT that I started having unusual things happen. And that was actually the push to turn more to the spiritual side.
Interesting.
It was also very interesting because, several of the stations that I was at were actually haunted. And so I started, experiencing things, other people started experiencing things. And then as other people found out that I started doing readings, it was amazing to see how many people have had similar things happen, a lot of unusual things happen. So I think it really reassured them that they weren't alone.
Oh my goodness. So all right, back up a little bit. So you found out that some of the stations that you were working at were haunted, and so you developing like your psychic abilities, and you just started to notice something that you like, your ability to know what was going on or be able to perceive the energy.
Ever since I was in my 20s, I always felt someone was around me. I felt a protection. I felt like I was never alone. And I was going through a very tough time at the ambulance, and I was, reading up on angels. It was a book by Sylvia Browne, and I just, felt so reassured. Yep. And then I had actually had a dream, and I'd have to say that this is where I really started paying attention to my dreams that I believe saved my life. And I was at the station, and I was sleeping, and I was dreaming about an accident that I was going to be in on the expressway. God. Yes, and I all of a sudden felt someone wake me up, and it wasn't my partner. And so needless to say, I avoided that expressway. I wasn't going to take a chance. But it was through that I
Becky, I
started.
didn't know this. You have to submit this story through into the next Chicken Soup for the Soul book.
Okay, I will. So it was interesting. And then I went, it was about a week later that I went home, and I was at home and I was sleeping, and my spirit guide appeared, which of course, in the middle of the night, you think you're alone.
Describe your spirit guide.
It was a full figure. You know how you hear stories where people think, oh, apparitions, is it going to be, this like orb, or is it going to be kind of like this fuzzy? And it was a full figure, but when you think you're alone, he was a nice looking man, dark hair. He appeared over by the light. I mean, he was a safe distance away from me, but of course it scared me. And I screamed, and I guess I scared him. I went to a medium, later. But that was really what started getting me into,
So was he fuzzy around the edges? Did he seem
not at all. He looked just like a person. Just like, we're here talking, he looked just like an actual person. Which of course,
did you know he was your spirit guide?
I had gone to a medium, and she said that was your spirit guide. And I said, okay, well, when you think you're alone at night and, you've just waken up and all of a sudden he just appears.
Well, at least he was nice looking.
He was, yes. Yes.
Very nice. Not everybody has nice looking.
No.
I think that's special.
And, since I have had them appear, they usually know that I don't do real well when they appear to me in the middle of the night. But I have had them appear in my dreams. And I have to say that's been a huge help for me.
So how have those dreams impacted you, or what are there any examples of how you worked with those dreams?
There are two.
Okay.
I remember the one. Can't remember the whole dream. All I remember is all of a sudden this little old lady, she almost appeared like a witch. She was so sweet though. And I said, I didn't think that I didn't know I had a female guide. I usually have a male guide appear. And she says, yes, but you don't usually do too well with that. Your first reaction is to scream. And she goes, so I'm here helping you. So I felt like she came through to me at the time. I was kind of going back and forth with, okay, I was at a kind of a standstill. I wasn't sure the direction I was headed. So she really helped me to continue with my spiritual path, to figure out, a little bit more of the direction I wanted to go in.
Oh my goodness. Well, Becky, this is amazing. So let's go back though. I know that you and I have something in common regarding scary dreams, kind of liking them. So you were scared initially by the male spirit guides that have come to you. So from that perspective, what's your point of view about scary dreams in general?
I would say that, first of all, when they come through, scary dreams to me, they're there to help us to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had dreams that have bothered me at the time, but when I was working with them and doing the dream interpretation, I realized just what a huge message that they had for me.
So do you believe it's true? I know some people really have a hard time swallowing this, but is there such thing as a bad dream?
I think how we perceive it can be bad. We perceive it as bad, but yet, usually what appears as a bad dream is, the other side's way of saying, how about we pay attention to something?
Right.
Because when we have good dreams, sometimes we pay attention, sometimes we don't. When we have bad dreams, so we're, likely to pay attention to those. We don't forget those.
So true. It's so true. I think of Michael Beckwith's quote, pain pushes until inspiration pulls. And sometimes we need that push until we don't need it anymore.
Yes.
But from the sense of you, I think it's wonderful that you had this wonderfully handsome spirit guide show up. And yet initially he scared the bejeebers out of you. And isn't it like that? The most scary dreams are blessings in disguise. And I say most, but I almost want to say all. I want to say all scary dreams are blessings in disguise. There may be an exception in the most random of places. I haven't found it yet, and I've heard some whoppers. But even though yours became really obvious that it was a spirit guide coming to you to give you assistance and love and guidance, but you were scared, and in your fear, you might have, if you had the power to push him away, you might have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that what most of us do?
We do. I can remember one time, it was in 2013, I had my cat put down, and I'd had him for 12 years. So it was the hardest thing I'd ever had to go through. And I can remember he came through to me in a dream. And in the dream, it scared me in the dream. I can remember I, kind of screamed. I'm like, oh my gosh. And he was just laying on my mom's bed. And, he kind of was like, okay, it's okay. And I woke up that next morning and I had such a hard time because I felt so bad. And it was, a couple nights later, he came through again and he was on the counter. And this time it didn't scare me. I was like, okay. I was petting him and I knew it was his way of saying it's okay. I understand where it could be scary. But, it just amazed me because what I perceived as, a bad dream, when I screamed, I thought, oh my gosh, he's mad at me. And then he came through again and said, no, it's okay.
That's beautiful. What a blessing. And did that give you like reassurance that your cat had survived death, or that your cat was still connected to you in some way, in a new way?
I felt like he was very connected to me. And, he was reassuring me it was okay.
How wonderful. I'm so passionate about these dreams, about the dreams that we initially want to push away and end up becoming such a blessing in disguise. So I know that you've recently come through Dream Life Coach training, and I'm just curious as to, because you already had such a rich metaphysical background and you've been doing readings for so long, and we're going to pull a couple of Dream Oracle cards in a minute and have Becky do a reading for you, the viewer and or listener of this. But I'm curious, what surprised you? What did you learn about yourself that you might not have known? And or, I don't know, what stands out to you about your experience with the Dream Life Coach training?
One of the things was I wasn't expecting all the internal work. And one of the things that was very challenging for me is I thought I had to have everything all figured out and already be living that dream life. And so, at times it held me back. But one of the things that I realized, and it was through dreams too, that, they gave me that push and said, it's okay. You don't have to have everything figured out.
You mean you thought you had to have it all figured out in order to take the course, or in order to complete the course? Or at what point did you feel like you had to be perfect and have it all nipped and tucked and zipped and dotted I's and crossed T's?
I felt like in order for me to coach others, I had to have everything all figured out. And I had to exactly my dream life looked like, and it changes. And I had to realize that it's okay.
Right. Well, we're all work in progress. I think it's important, at least for me. I mean, Dream Life Coach training is a program that I created, and I just put everything that I felt was important in there. And one of those things is about being transparent and not having this pretend way of being that is like a mask of perfection. It's like we are all perfect, and we're all whole, we're all complete, and we're constantly changing and evolving and expanding, and we're never there. There is no there. But I think there is something about the internal work that's designed to get you into a place where you could have a felt sense of your wholeness and your strength, your inner strength, regardless of what may be changing around you. Do you feel like that happened with some of the things that you found out about yourself, or some of the dreams that you were able to work on for yourself?
I did. One of the things they've really been is to open up my...
Oops, the internet's cutting out a little bit. So can you maybe repeat that? Oops, pause for 1 second.
Is to open up my heart. And I would say, for the longest time, especially, I lost my cat in 2013. Then I had a couple of family members that had passed.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
there was that part of me that it kind of closed off my heart. And it was through
Okay, so we had a little
okay.
technical
One of the
glitch here.
things
We paused
that
it, but we're back to Becky.
one of the things that has helped me so much is that I had, my cat passed in 2013, and then a couple of family members that had passed. There was a part of me, for fear of being hurt, that closed off my heart. And,
Mhm.
through dreams and with the Dream Life Coach training, it really helped me to open up my heart and to realize it's okay to be vulnerable.
Mm.
It's okay to be my true self. And if there were days, that I'm having bad days or, just needed a good cry, that there is nothing wrong with that.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. A good cry is highly underrated. I don't know why we
Yes.
resist those tears. I think there's a part of us that thinks that'll sweep us away and we'll never come back, but we come back, but refreshed after just like a good rainstorm. Oh my goodness. So let's pull a couple of cards, shall we?
Okay.
I'm gonna
Sounds good.
flip through some and I'm gonna let you do a little reading. So
Okay.
let me see. I've got them here. Let me shuffle them around a little. Okay. Shameless plug here for the Dream Oracle cards. By the way, there's a new Oracle deck coming out soon. I'm so excited. The Hero's Journey Dream Oracle. Okay,
Can't
so
wait for that one.
I'm so excited. Okay, so Becky, I'm going to just run my finger over these and you tell me when to stop and when to pull one. We'll
Okay.
just pull one in general.
Stop.
That one?
Yep.
Okay, let me see. That one looks like a bunch of them. But I'm going to pull the one that's on top. And this is a new deck. So, okay, here we go. Oh, my Lord. Of course you pulled this one. Flying.
Oh.
Flying. And it says spread. What is this one? What does this one say? I should know this. Arise and see a higher point of view. So this is for kind of just for our time right now, something for us to pay attention to. So if we were doing a reading, what would you say to me or to the person watching or listening about what this card's about? I'll hold it up
I
while you
would
talk.
say that sometimes we tend to look at things that are right there in front of us, and we take things at face value. When
Mm.
the flying card comes up, it's looking at things from a little different angle. It's almost looking at things from if we were in an airplane, how would we see it? Or, sometimes we got to change our perspective on things.
Mm,
And
mm,
so, it's looking for maybe the positive part of it, looking to see, what's right. I know that, one of the things in Dream Life Coach training that we, talk about is, okay, well, what's, right about something. So maybe we're going through a challenging time. Things aren't, necessarily manifesting, as quickly as what we'd like it to. What is the
mm.
positive side of this? And that's how I look at the flying.
Ah, wow, Becky, that was really good. I don't know that I would add anything to that. I think I would just add that I'm, getting really personal. When I think about some of the flying dreams that I had, there's one that really stands out to me. Actually, a couple that really stand out to me. I feel like the hangover, for lack of a better word, from those dreams, it's like it's like it's such a, I feel like it's a quick way of accessing like the upper chakras. It's a quick way of being able to go, oh yeah, I'm more than this, and it's all good. And it's the spiritual identity versus the denser human ego identity. And I think about Einstein's perspective that you can't solve a problem on the level of the problem, and to step into that flying perspective, and we all have it, even whether we've had a flying dream or a flying dream that we remember or not, we all have the ability to see above. We can just simply look up at the sky and remember, oh yeah, there's more than this. I am more than this. And the solutions are vast and infinite, and I'm connected to them. And it's also a reminder to take ourselves lightly. And I love that saying, why do angels fly? Because they take themselves lightly.
Yes. I love it too.
I love it too. Okay, so what would you say to somebody, Becky, that says, I don't remember my dreams, or how could dream life coaching be beneficial to me? What do you say to somebody who says, I don't know if I remember my dreams?
I think so often when we think of dreams, we always think of our nighttime dreams. But,
Right.
how many times in school have we been caught daydreaming? And so I know
When
I'm
were we
guilty of
not
that.
caught daydreaming?
Right. I was always guilty of that.
Right.
But, it's not just about our nighttime dreams. It's about our daytime dreams. What are our aspirations? Where would we like to see ourselves going? And
Right.
so with Dream Life Coaching, it's not just about the nighttime dreams. That's only a small percentage of what Dream Life Coaching is about. It's
Mm,
about, really going after our daytime dreams. What do we want to see ourselves doing?
right. Beautiful. And everybody has that. Everybody has
Yes.
something that they're moving toward. And if they don't have something that they're moving toward, then they need a coach to help to excavate, to
Yes.
identify what else is there that they want to go for. I think that's great. I also love to tell people that we all dream every night, and it's just a matter.
Yes.
And I think if somebody works with you, they're going to remember their dreams. If they work with a dream life coach, it's just a matter of time to remember their dreams. And sometimes it's just a matter of getting up in the night. If you remember a dream, like deliberately waking up and recording that dream. Last night I woke up in the middle of the night. I was so tired. I didn't want to wake up, but I had 3 big dreams that I was trying to hold on to. And I'm like, I'm not going to sleep.
Wow.
I'm going to have restless sleep if I don't get up and record these things. So yes, it takes a few minutes out of my sleep to record the dreams, but then I have them, then I've got them, then I can work with them. And then it's like a handful of gold in the morning that I wouldn't have otherwise. And I think we all have them. It's just a matter of sacrificing a little bit of sleep or a little bit of our ordinary routine in the morning to just take some time to record those dreams. What about you, Becky? When's your best dream recording time? How do you do your dreams? Do you wait for the big ones to come to you, or do you go after all of them, big and small?
I go after all of them. Usually I can tell when there's a certain one that has a message.
Mhm.
My dreams are usually the ones that hit me real strong are right before I wake up in the morning. That seems to be the ones that are, very
Yeah.
strong for me.
Yeah.
But I can, I just, through, habit, I have found that I just kind of remember them, and I just kind of know when there's a certain dream, like, okay, you need to pay attention to this. The other thing that I've noticed too is a lot of times if I'm having a hard time remembering something during the day, something will always remind me of it. Or I'll ask spirit, okay, what, can you help me remember this dream? And usually they'll let me know, okay, you know what, how about we go back to this? Did you forget about this one?
And I bet you what do you do once you have the dream? How do you activate a dream? I always talk about how a remembered dream requires action in our waking lives. So how do you know what to activate from your dream? Like if you have, especially you have epic dreams, very vivid
Mhm.
dreams, how do you know what to do with that dream in your waking life?
What I'll do is I'll write it down. I think that writing them down is key. And I'll go through and then I'll look at the symbols in the dream.
Mm-hmm.
What symbols stand out? Are there certain things, reoccurring dreams that I keep having?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll look at those symbols. Is there anything? I'll keep track of how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a certain place, especially with traveling, if I'm dreaming of traveling, then I have found that sometimes it's almost like the universe just sort of makes it happen. I'm going to be going to Universal Studios in a couple of weeks. And I kept having dreams about, an airplane and about that I was traveling. I'm like, okay, well, I guess this so something. I had a dream last night and I was at the airport. This time I dreamt of Disney characters. I dreamt of Mickey and Minnie. I'm like, well, maybe I need to go to Disney soon.
Are you coming to the LA Disneyland and Universal, or the Florida
The
one?
Florida. The Florida one.
Darn. Next time come to LA and let me know.
Okay. Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, so as we begin to wrap this up, I've got a couple more questions for you, but one is you, and I think we'll pull another card to close out as well. You've been into the cards for a long time. I mean,
I
you
have.
really, and you have been the one encouraging me to do a training for people on the Dream Oracle cards,
Yes.
and I'm so, remiss in doing that, but I will be doing one, I promise, and you will get all the credit. But what is it about using oracle cards? And I know you use a whole bunch of different kinds. You've got Doreen Virtue, you've got Colette Baron Reed,
Yes.
and you've got many others. So what is it about using cards that you find to be so valuable?
One of the things is they say that a picture is worth 1,000 words. And I think that with cards, what I've noticed with doing readings is people will see a certain symbol, they'll see a certain image on the card, and it just stirs something up. It can stir up a feeling. Maybe it, reminds them of something. And I just, I think that's so neat. Or, sometimes when it's hard for us to get messages, any other way, as we have so much going on in our daily lives, when we can pull a card and the message is right there, I think that helps so. And I've just found the cards to help me out in, some challenging times. And I just love how the right cards always come out for the person with whatever they need to hear. And I love that about them.
I love that you just said this, and I'm going to say this for the first time. I've been thinking it, but this is going to be one of the taglines that I'm going to use to borrow part of what you just said. A picture's worth 1,000 words, but a dream is worth 1,000 pictures.
Oh, I love that.
Isn't it true?
I love it. Yes,
like
that is.
one dream has 1,000 pictures in it.
Yes.
And exponential volumes of content and wisdom. So
yes.
You're the first person I said that out loud to. Thank you, Becky Lemere. Okay, so as I'm shuffling these cards, any last words of wisdom before we pick a card and kind of leave everybody with a little dream inspiration?
One of the things that through, working with my dreams and through the cards that I'm working on myself is not to know that it's okay to dream big. And I think sometimes we feel like, we need to, just have little dreams. And I have found that, what, sky's the limit. There's nothing that says we can't dream big. And even if it, seems like it takes a while for, things to happen, not to give up. That, I think that it's important. I worked at Disney in '96.
Oh, right.
And it was such a huge part of me. And one of the things that it taught me was, that magic happens every day. And to, remember the magic. And I really try and remember that with dreams. I mean, sometimes it's challenging. But to, remember that magic can happen at any time. And that you're not alone. And that there's, people that'll be put in, in front of you at the right time.
Oh, Becky, you are so precious. So 2 cards just randomly fell out of the deck.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have you pick a third one, and then I'll show you what the 3 are. So here we go. So this is also showing that you can do this remotely.
Okay.
So tell me when to stop.
Stop. Oh, go back. There's one sticking right out. Yep. That one that you have.
Oh, this one right here.
Yep.
Okay. Ta-da. Oh my God. You picked flying again. My
gosh.
People are going to think that the whole deck is filled with flying cards. Well, this will be the third.
And it's not.
I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to mute myself while I sneeze.
Bless you.
That was a good one. That felt good. Now I feel like I can finally fly. Okay, so the first one I pulled was music.
Okay.
And it's sing the song of your soul. Sing the song of your soul and dance to your unique rhythm. And the next one was home, house, home. Come home to the residence of your soul resonance. So boom, boom, and then flying. And we all know what flying is. It's about
Mhm.
arise and see a higher point of view. So in closing, what kind of reading would you give us with these 3 cards, Becky? A little
I would
simple.
say it's looking at things from a higher perspective, and I would say it goes back to that dreaming big, not, having small dreams, but knowing that it's important to find where you feel at home about yourself and to be your true self and to follow your heart. And
Mm.
that's what I feel like the house and the music is really, telling you that when you're at home with yourself and you're being true to yourself and true to your heart, then that's when dreams happen.
Oh, you are good, Missy. You are so good. One thing I want to say is having the house and home right there in the middle. When you were talking just a few minutes ago about dreaming big,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly how to articulate this, but what I was having a sense of was about how dreaming big doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be
No.
like you're here and your dream is way over there. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're aspiring to something in a place that you're not. It's like remembering that you're here and your dreams are here with you, and it's like just removing the blinders in front of what's already here. So it doesn't, yes, it requires action, yes, it requires sometimes doing something, and yes, it requires kind of stepping out, but really it's about just elevating the energy to see what's already here. And a dream life is really about just being yourself.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be terrifying. It doesn't have to be like
No.
you're stepping across a tight wire across the Grand Canyon, like you're going to die at any moment. Oh my God. It's like I was giving advice to a guy today about he said that he was so terrified about asking women out. And it has nothing to do with dreams necessarily, but I was thinking, like, what about being connected to the people that you're near? Why go out and try to ask somebody for something that they might not want to give you? That would be scary. But
Right.
maybe be like, go to where you're passionate, like go to where you dance and where you like the music and where you feel at home, and then just express yourself. So you're not having to take a leap. You're not having to risk yourself. You're just being yourself. And to me, it's always about like being at home, and
It
then
is.
taking it up a notch so that you can fly, and then becoming magnetic to, so letting the dreams that you aspire to, for letting them fall at your feet. So I think you inspired a wonderful, wonderful spread here. and
Well, thank you so much.
And Becky, you are so much fun to talk to, and you are so wise, and you're so fluent. And I felt from the beginning, from the very first conversation I had with you, that you were going to make an incredible dream life coach, and that I really hoped you'd stick with the program. It's a long one. It's like, it's pretty dense, right? It's not just like a drive through. Did
It
you
is,
find
but
that?
it's so rewarding. And I have to say that this program was such an in-depth program. And, you get whatever you put into it. But, I've learned so much about myself, and I'm so grateful for that. And had so much support, along the way from, you and from other coaches. It was just amazing. So I was
Mm.
so grateful for that.
Well, you're our poster child. You're so wonderful. I just wish so many people could meet you and
Thank
experience you.
you.
And what's the best way if somebody wants to do, like, what are you offering in terms of, you're a new coach, you're wanting to have some clients? What kind of offering, and how can people reach you if they want to try out a dream life coach training session with you, whether they have a nighttime dream that they remember that they want to explore with you, or if they have a passionate goal that they want to achieve? What's the best way to reach you, first of all?
They can reach me via email. I do check my email, or by phone.
Okay,
We
let's do
can,
your email.
okay, it's Becky Lemere. It's BeckyLemere at sbcglobal.net.
Becky Lemere at sbcglobal.net. Okay, wonderful. And I know you've got some really wonderful coaching packages, and I don't know if you want to talk, probably not talk about it on here, but know that people can, you can all find out about them by reaching out to Becky. And I know that there's a great introductory offer. And
Yes.
I think whoever reaches out to you is incredibly lucky and gifted and blessed and smart and is 10,000 steps further ahead towards reaching their dreams and fulfilling their dreams than they would be otherwise. So anyway, thank you for taking the time
Thank you so
to
much.
be on Dreams Unzipped today, Becky. You are such a dream come true, and I wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And to everyone watching and or listening, don't take your dreams lying down, and may your sweetest dreams all come true. Sweet dreams.